You go from earning £60,000 a year to 100,000. Your salary rises by 2/3, and most people imagine a very different life at the other end. You expect a much better home, easier choices, and the feeling that money has finally stopped being a constant calculation. Then the higher salary arrives, but you may still live in the same place, drive the same car, and think twice about many of the same purchases. Your life is better, but it may not look or feel £40,000 better. So where does the increase go? In a Clean England example, monthly take-home pay rises from about £3,780 to £5,713. That is an extra £1,933 every month. That is an objectively high individual salary. It sits between the 95th and 96th percentile thresholds in the latest full-time weekly pay comparison. But gross salary rises by 67%, while take-home pay rises by 51%. The increase is still large, it just does not arrive in the same proportion as the headline salary. Across this part of the salary range, each extra pound leaves 58 pence after 40 pence of income tax and 2 pence of employee national insurance. Across the full raise, £40,000 of gross salary becomes about £23,200 over the year. Tax takes a large cut, but most of the extra money still reaches you. That is still enough to change your finances. The question is whether it changes your visible lifestyle or your financial position first. Your existing life does not become 67% more expensive when your salary rises by 67%. If you stay in the same home, keep the same car, and buy roughly the same things, much of the raise has nowhere obvious to appear. It can become an emergency fund, faster debt payments, a house deposit, pension contributions, or investments. It may mean an unexpected bill no longer wrecks the month. Those changes matter even when they do not look like a new lifestyle. If you kept your spending unchanged and saved the full difference, the extra capacity would add up to £116,000 over 5 years before any investment return. That is not a prediction of what someone will do. It shows what the higher salary makes possible. A salary can improve your financial position long before it dramatically changes your weekdays. Workers on the same salary do not all receive the same amount of cash. Someone with an outstanding undergraduate student loan would repay about £300 more each month across this salary jump. Their immediate gain falls to about £1,633 a month. If they also have a postgraduate loan, it falls to about £1,433. Those are loan repayments, not income tax, and they only apply while the balances remain. But they show why two people with the same gross salary can receive different amounts of cash. Parents can face a different set of rules. The high income child benefit charge can remove the cash value of child benefit as adjusted net income rises from £60,000 to £80,000. The threshold works differently at exactly £100,000 of adjusted net income. That amount is still on the qualifying side of the personal allowance and childcare rules. Once adjusted net income goes above it, the personal allowance starts to taper away. An otherwise eligible parent in England can also lose access to working parent-funded childcare and tax-free childcare. These rules do not all hit one typical earner. They are different examples of why the same headline salary can produce very different household results. Housing can make those differences feel enormous. Average private rent in June 2026 was about £2,302 a month in London and £781 in the North East. One national salary ranking has to cover both housing markets. The higher salary can still change what is possible. The London housing example in the research uses a standard first-time buyer. The modelled mortgage payment takes about 62% of the clean £60,000 take-home pay, and 41% at £100,000. That is a major improvement, and it is the strongest challenge to the idea that the salary increase does not change your life. For someone with low fixed costs or a cheap mortgage, the extra monthly cash may feel life-changing. For someone trying to buy in London, it may move a difficult mortgage closer to affordable without buying anything that feels remotely luxurious. The salary is the same. The area decides how far it travels. Individual salary is only one part of the household picture. Another household earner on roughly the latest full-time median salary would bring in about £2,636 a month after income tax and employee national insurance under the same assumptions. That adds more household cash than the original worker's move from £60,000 to £100,000. Households with 2 adults also have different costs, but the comparison shows how little one person's salary rank tells us about the money available to the household. Starting wealth widens the gap further. Some workers may own a home and have investments. Others may rent, carry a student loan, and build a deposit from zero. The latest English housing survey found that 31% of recent first-time buyers used money from family or friends for their deposit, and 6% used inheritance. Those advantages do not appear on a payslip, but they can change the home someone owns and the wealth they build without changing their salary at all. So a very high salary can still produce a surprisingly ordinary-looking life. The extra income can buy a better lifestyle now. It can also buy breathing room, protection from a bad month, and the ability to build wealth for later. Which version you get depends on the deductions, the household, the housing market, and the assets already behind the salary. Two people can earn the same amount and live in completely different financial worlds. One can keep the same home and the same car, while using the extra money to clear debt, build a deposit, and invest. Their lifestyle still looks ordinary. Their financial position may be changing quickly. Salary measures what comes in. Wealth measures what has built up. They are not the same thing.